what is the Sound Fiscal House approach? Well, simply put, it's our detailed holistic planning approach that here at EFC Wealth Management we use on all of our retirees to help them get to that desired goal of retirement. Here's what I want to explain to you. When it comes to retirement planning, it can be very complicated. There's so many things going on. You're trying to figure out what's the right date to retire. What does your retirement plan look like? Who you need to talk to at the HR department, how much money you're gonna need while you're in retirement. There's so much information going on. So we understand that it is a very complicated time. And we tried to figure out a way to make sure that you felt very comfortable in this planning process. And we decided to show you how to do that by coming up with our Sound Fiscal House approach. And it's all done with our 6-step process. So the very first time we sit down and talk to you, we're going to do something that we think is really unique, and we call it Meeting the Financial Architect. See, we've centered our whole process around building a house, because what we're actually doing is building your sound fiscal house to make sure all your money and your retirement all line up together to make sure you feel very stable when it comes to your planning process. Just as if you were going out to build your first home, you meet with the architect just to kind of figure out what your dreams are. What do you want in this house? Where do you want the bathroom at? How big is the kitchen going to be? All that's the same concept as we're designing your fiscal house here at the office. Now, the second visit, which we like to call the financial appraisal, this is where you've actually kind of sit down with us and you're going to tell us all that you've done up to this point. This is where we're kind of taking an inventory of what you currently have. What kind of 401k plan do you have? What types of investments are in there? What type of savings have you done? Where is that money sitting at? Do you have a pension plan? Everyone's situation is completely different. This is why we customize this plan just for you. Now, the third stage, or the third visit when you come into our office, is all about revealing the cracks. We think this is the most important part. This is where we're going to tell you how your current plan looks. What you've been doing up to this point, is it going to work? Now, what we'll also do in this process is tell you what we think needs to be fixed. We'll give you our recommendations and our strategies on things that we think at EFC can help you get to the goals that you're trying to accomplish. Now, the fourth stage of this process is called funding construction. This is where we sit down and we've already figured out all that you have going on in your plan, and we figured out what we can do to help you on that plan. But now it's about us moving those accounts up under our management and allowing us to start taking charge. Now listen, we leave everything exactly as it is, but in order for us to start making those strategies and coming up with the plans that we feel is going to help you, we have to be able to see those assets and manage them up under our house. The fifth stage is called Design Your Home. This is where it becomes fun. We sit down and go through all of the detailed analysis that we have talked about up to this point, explain to you exactly what types of investments are going to be needed for your planning process, how much tax implications we may be figuring out for you that may be coming up on your RMDs. We'll kind of figure all that out with you. We'll decide how much risk you have in your portfolio, if it's too much or too little, and if so, how do we adjust that to make sure everything lines up exactly the way you want it. This is called designing your house. This is so that we can put this desired plan together so you feel comfortable in retirement. And then the last stage of our process, our 6-step process, is all about move-in day. Here's where we give you the keys to the house. We give you your financial blueprint so you know exactly what your plan looks like. We've already implemented all the strategies and tools that we were going to use to get you there. And now it's all about us meeting and getting together on a visit on an annual or semi-annual basis and making sure everything is working the way you want it to always work. And of course, like anything, course correct as we need to as life goes on and life throws things our way. That's our Sound Fiscal House approach. I owe it to you and you owe it to yourself to take advantage of this free consultation that'll give you at least a good glimpse of knowing exactly where you stand when it comes to retirement. Listen, we know how crazy it is in retirement and getting ready for retirement. Let this be the one thing you don't have to worry about because you trust in us at EFC Wealth Management to make sure your retirement is planned the way you want to. Have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in the office.